live just down the street from that assisted living that's about 12 stories high. A few weeks ago, a lady who lives there up on the 12th floor came home from her bingo game. She went up to the 12th floor to her apartment, and she found her 98-year-old husband in bed with another woman. She was furious. She chased him around the apartment. She chased him out onto the patio. She backed him up against the railing, and he fell over. Well, needless to say, he's deceased. So then she had to go to the court, and when she got in front of the judge said, "Well, miss, do you have anything to say for yourself?" She said, "Yes, Judge. I thought that any 98-year-old man who could still have sex could also fly." Then I ran into a nice lady in the park. That's unusual. She made me feel very welcome, like you folks have tonight here. Usually, I feel about as welcome as baked beans on a bus trip. But this lady was talking to me. She had a cute little dog, and she said, "Oh, when I got this dog, Ruthie, I thought he was deaf. I'd call the little fella and he wouldn't come to me. So I took him to a vet, and the vet looked in his little ears, and he said, oh, his ears are full of fur and hair. So we cleaned out the little dog's ears. He said, lady, to keep him clean, every month, clean his little ears with some Nair hair remover." She said, okay. So as soon as she left the vet's office, she went to a Walgreens, and she went back to the pharmacy desk, and she said, sir, I need some Nair hair remover. He said, okay. He got it for her, and he said, now listen, miss, if you're gonna use it under your armpits, don't put deodorant on for about 2 hours. She said, fine, but I'm not using it on my armpits. He said, well, if you're gonna put it on your legs, don't put body lotion on for about 3 days. She said, okay, but I'm not using it on my legs. He said, well, do you mind telling me, where are you gonna use this Nair hair remover? She said, well, I'm gonna put it on my schnauzer. He said, in that case, don't ride a bicycle for 3 weeks. Well, folks, I won't beat around the bush. I came down here tonight. I came all the way from Phoenix, pushed my shopping cart all the way down here. Because I heard there's somebody here that I just love to see again. It's been so many years. Is Charles Walther here? Charles? Oh, Charles, where is he, folks? Is that him? Oh, give him a round of applause. Come up here, Charles. Come on, Charles. Is there stairs here? No. There's the stairs. Oh, come up here, you cute little thing. Look at those cute little bony legs. Hello, Charles. Oh, it's so good to see you. Let me give you a hug. Oh, Charles, was that as good for you as it was for me? It's good to see you, my dear. You don't remember me, do you? No, that's what they all say. Charles, we went to school together in 2nd grade. Yes, I sat behind you in 2nd grade. Folks, I gotta tell you, this fellow here, what a cute little boy. The teacher loved you, Charles. Yeah, he remembers. You were good, you were polite. He sat still in class until one day he got fidgety. And the teacher said, what's wrong, Charles? And she was just really upset because he kept wiggling around in his seat, wiggling around in his seat. She said, please, please, Charles, tell me what's wrong. Charles said, teacher, my seat is asleep. And then, oh, it was precious. You're so cute. He said, my seat is asleep. She said, well, you couldn't have a seat that's asleep. And I was a little girl behind you, Charles, who raised her hand and said, yes, sir, teacher. Charles' seat is asleep. I heard it snore. Remember that, Charles? Oh, Charles, do that again. Oh, I like that. That's good. Oh, Charles, you know what? One of the reasons I love you, I can look right up your nose. You're so soft. And you smell good. Anyway, Charles, well, when we were in high school, you know, I had a big crush on you. You know that, don't you, Charles? Yeah, but you wouldn't pay any attention to me. He liked those cheerleaders with the perky little boobs. And I didn't have those perky little boobs. So I went out and bought a bra, Charles. Yeah, it was called the American Kennel Club bra. Guaranteed to make pointers out of your setters. But it didn't work. I even got a mud pack on my face for you, Charles. And I looked so beautiful for 3 days. And then the mud fell off. Charles, are you married? Oh, bummer. I always dreamed that you'd marry me, Charles. And that you'd be rich. And you'd buy me a mink coat. The kind that went all the way to the floor. Of course, that never happened. So finally, Charles, I went out and I bought a fake fur out of one of those Goodwill places, 3/4 length. Charles, to make it look like it went all the way to the floor, I just let the hair grow on my legs. It worked. Charles, so you're married. I suppose your wife is here tonight. Oh, where is she? Well, there's a lot of people out there, Charles. Oh, that lady waving at me with an expression on her face that says, I got him. Was she a cheerleader? You know what? Come up here. See what the goods look like. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. No, dear, come up here. Uh-oh, she's cute, Charles. Pretty good looking. Oh, man, you did all right. Oh, thanks, Charles. What is your name, miss? Luann. Oh, well, nice to meet you, Luann. Don't be afraid. There's no hard feelings. You know what? I passed a store on the way over here. I wonder if you'd like to go in on a deal with me. Yeah, I passed a breast augmentation store. They're having a sale. See, if we buy 2 breast implants, we'll get the 3rd one free. But by the look of you, I don't think you need it. You know what? I brought you something. Would you hold this for me? Thank you. It's in my bag. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Don't look, don't look. On the way over here, I thought I might find you again, Charles. So I wanted to have something to give you, a keepsake to remember me by. and I stopped at the drugstore to get this, and I went up to the pharmacy. And when I got up there, there was a little old lady standing there waiting for hers. And I said, "Gee, how old are you?" And she said, "I'm 98 years old." I said, "Oh my, what are you waiting for?" She said, "I'm waiting for my birth control pills." I said, "Really? What does a 98-year-old woman need birth control pills for?" She said, "Well, they help me sleep much better." I said, "How can that be?" She said, "Well, every morning I just drop one of those little pills in my granddaughter's orange juice, and I sleep much better." All right, here it is. Are you ready, you two? It isn't much because I don't have much money these days, but I got you some Preparation H. Because let's face it, Charles, we're not getting any younger. You know what I've noticed? What's your name again? Luann, that's right. You know, Luann, I don't know about you and you other ladies out there, but have you noticed any changes in your body? No, nobody has. It's just me. In the last couple of years, Luann, my bra size has gone from 32A to 32 long. Now, I want you to share this with the little woman, Charles, all right? Share that Preparation H. Because even though you're cute, and you got cute little skinny legs, and you're smart, let's face it, ladies, every so often, every man can be a pain in the ass. Okay, well listen, you two, I want you to have a rest of an evening that is delightful. And Luann, thank you for joining us up here. You can go sit down. You're welcome. Boy, that felt good. No, I love you, Luann. You're very sweet. And you have beautiful bosoms. Whenever I come to a party like this, I like to have a sing-along. Are you ready for a sing-along? Boy, that was enthusiastic. Oh, thank you for joining us. Come over here by me. You're kind of cute. Don't be afraid. Here, stand over here by the kitty cat. Oh, Pastor, can I run my fingers through your hair? Oh, they both feel so good. You're a good sport. All right, oh, you lucky fella. Hold this microphone and bend over. Isn't he cute? Yeah. Get ready to move with a moo moo here and moo moo there. Here, moo there. It's not that hard. Everywhere. Moo moo. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. You were utterly wonderful. And that's no bull. And you have nice calves. All right, the cat. And on this farm he had a cat. E-I-E-I-O. Get ready to meow with him. Meow, meow. Here and meow, there. Meow. Here and meow. There, meow. Everywhere, meow. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Stop a minute. Do you have any children? How many?
I had 6.
I can't believe it because you have no rhythm. Good job. All right, the horse. And what?
I thought this was an ass.
No, you're the ass. That's the horse. Is there anybody here from Iowa?
Yeah.
Wait, raise your hand. Hello, you Iowa folk. You're from Iowa and you admit it. Good for you. I'm from Iowa too. Yeah, and oh, when I think of Iowa, 100-year-old farmhouse. Our whole family grew up in that farmhouse. Grandma and Grandpa lived with us. And poor little Grandpa rode a lot of horses. So he was bow-legged. And when he walked like this. And Grandma, his wife, was knock-kneed. And when she walked like this. And they were so cute. When they came around the corner of the barn together, they spelled okay. Makes me homesick. Wow, I love that place. You know, when we lived back there, we always went to the county fair every year. And there was a couple named Ted and Edna. Ted and Edna loved the fair, and they used to give helicopter rides. And one year, Ted said, Edna, I'm going to ride that helicopter. And Edna said, oh, no, you're not, because it costs $50, and $50 is $50. Well, every year after that, they went through this same conversation. Finally, when Ted turned about 75, he went to the fair and he said, Edna, I'm riding that helicopter this time, because if I don't, I may never get another chance. She said, oh, no, you're not. It costs $50. And $50 is $50. Well, just then, the guy who drove the helicopter ran over and said, listen, folks, you can both ride the helicopter for nothing if you can take the ride without saying one word. If someone says something, then you'll have to pay $50. So they took the trip. He got him on that helicopter. It was the roughest ride, herky-jerky up and down, between narrow hills, as fast as he could go. He landed the helicopter, and they did it. They didn't say one word. And the pilot said, hey, I'm really proud of you, Ted and Edna. You didn't say one word. And Ted hollered back, well, I was gonna say something when Edna fell out, but $50 is $50. I gotta tell you a quick bar joke. One night a guy walked into a bar, looked a lot like you, sir. Yeah, you look like Elmer Fudd. Doesn't he look like Elmer? But you're cuter. Anyway, he walks into this bar. There's two ladies at the bar. And they were pretty large ladies and pretty ugly. But they had a strong accent. So the guy walked up there and he said, excuse me, ladies. I couldn't help but notice your accent and I wondered where you are from. Could that be Scotland? And the biggest, ugliest lady said, it's Wales, you idiot. He said, oh, excuse me, are you two whales from Scotland? And my brother, the one that's always getting in trouble, he went to a bar, I think it was called the Texas Rose, last weekend. He walked in and this heavy-set, kind of homely lady liked the looks of him. Followed him up to the bar, he felt someone pat him on the bottom. He turned around and it was her. And she said, hey, cutie, you're really a cute one. Can I have your number? He said, you got a pen? She said, yeah. He said, you better get back in it before the farmer knows you're missing.
Oh my goodness.
I went to the gym the other day, and I tell you, I pulled and I stretched. Oh, I was exhausted, and that was just getting my tights on. While I was there, a little old man came wandering in, and he asked one of the girls who worked there at that fancy gym, he said, hey, which one of these machines could I use to get that cute little girl's attention over there? And the girl looked around and she said, well, sir, I'd use the ATM across the street. And my brother Brad, he's a big guy, 350 pounds, my brother. He decided to lose weight. So he called up Jenny Craig for men. He called them up and they said, well, we have a workout program for you, sir. He said, well, I'd like to try it. So the next day he got started. There was a knock at his door early in the morning. And there at the door was this beautiful, thin little young girl with nothing on except a pair of Reebok running shoes and a sign around her neck that said, if you catch me, I'm yours. My brother took off like a shot. He chased her, and by the end of that 5-day period, they had promised him he'd lose 10 pounds, and he did. So we called him back up. He said, listen, I lost the 10 pounds in 5 days. I'd like to go to step number 2. They said, all right, sir. Now on step number 2, you work a little harder, but you're guaranteed to lose 20 pounds in 5 days. He said, I'll take it. So the next day there was a knock at the door. He goes to the door and there's a mature, sexy woman. She's wearing nothing but some tennis shoes and a sign around her neck that said, if you catch me, I'm yours. I mean, she was really stacked and mature. So they took off running. And he was in better shape, so we got close, but he couldn't catch her after 5 days, and he lost 20 pounds. So we called up Jenny Craig. He said, listen, this is working fabulously. I want to do your 3rd step. They said, oh, sir, are you ready for this? This is really tough. Are you sure you can do it? He said, yeah, I've never felt better. Let's do it. So the next day, there was a knock at his door. He goes to the door, and there's a big, muscular guy wearing nothing but tennis shoes and a sign around his neck that says, if I catch you, you're mine. He was supposed to lose 50 pounds. He lost 63 pounds. And I want to wish all you ladies here a very happy Mother's Day. And I think mothers are the most important people in our lives, seriously, because they love us unconditionally. Even Elmer Fudd had a mother. You know, I think this nice man likes me because when I was close to him up here, his glasses were fogging over. Are you married to the lady here? Oh, all right, well, never mind. But don't feel sorry for me because I've never had a man. You don't feel sorry for me, do you? Not one bit. I don't blame you, sir. Huh? It don't excite you? No. I didn't excite anybody. That's why I never had a man. But my girlfriend Bernice said, Ruth, you don't need a man because men are like parking spaces. All the good ones are taken. And the rest are handicapped. Yes, I think to myself, because we're all here together tonight, good friends, good food, good beer. It is a wonderful world.